EU leaders cautioned her on Thursday that unless she presented an alternative to her current proposal, Britain would crash out of the EU without a deal. And now the British government said it was disappointed by a ruling from the Scotland's highest court on Friday that the European Court of Justice should consider whether the United Kingdom can unilaterally change its mind about leaving the European Union. The Court of Session said the ECJ should consider whether Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, the formal means by which Britain signaled its intention to leave the bloc, could be reversed. A British government statement said, "We are disappointed by the decision of the court. We're giving this careful consideration." It also added, "But as government has repeatedly said, we are committed to implementing the results of the 2016 referendum and will not be revoking Article 50. And in Russia now, Russia supports the peace accord that ended Bosnia's war in the 1990s and the country's territorial integrity. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Friday amid a Bosnian Serb leaders' call for secession of a Serb-run region from Bosnia. Lavrov arrived in Bosnia 2 weeks before Bosnia's national election, a visit described by local media as a show of support for Bosnia's Serb leader Milorad Dodik, even though the Russian said he was not making a recommendation as to who to vote for. Dodik, who is running for Serb seats in Bosnia's inter-ethnic presidency, is campaigning on the ticket of a wider autonomy of the Serb Republic that he currently presides over and its ultimate cessions from Bosnia. The woman who accuses U.S. Supreme Court pick Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault in 1982 has set out terms for her testifying before a Senate committee. Among the conditions, Christine Blasey Ford will not testify with Kavanaugh in the room and wants him to testify first. It is unclear whether the committee will agree to all the terms. Judge Kavanaugh, 53, has repeatedly denied allegations and has agreed to testify before the committee. It is a task of the Senate Judiciary Committee to approve the nomination of Judge Kavanaugh before it passes to the full Senate for a vote. And now a Turkish U.S. citizen and former NASA scientist jailed in Turkey on terrorism charges plans to file an appeal to Turkey's top court after a lower court appeals court reduced his sentence this week. His lawyer said on Friday Serkan Golga was visiting family in southern Turkey when he was arrested in a crackdown following a failed military coup in 2016, which the government blames on supporters of US-based Muslim cleric Fethullah Gulen. Golga's case is similar to that of America's Pastor Andrew Brunson, whose ongoing detention in Turkey in connection with the coup attempt is the cause of a major row between NATO allies Washington and Ankara and has led to US President Donald Trump imposing sanctions on Turkey. In China now, a Chinese nanny has been executed after deliberately starting a fire that killed a mother and her 3 children in the eastern city of Hangzhou. Mo Juanjing, 35, was sentenced to death for arson in February. She was allegedly racked up significantly gambling debts and had hoped saving the family from the blaze would persuade them to lend her more money. Instead, the fire in their 18th floor apartment killed Zhu Xiongqing and her children aged 6, 9, and 11. Lin Shekbin, her husband and the children's father, was away on business at the time of the crime in June 2017. Mo, who used a lighter to start the blaze in the living room, escaped. In Germany now, prosecutors say a man has admitted dumping the body of a 9-year-old girl whose disappearance 17 years ago is one of Germany's biggest mysteries. Peggy Knobloch went missing in 2001 on her way home from school in Bavaria. Her remains were only found in 2016. Manuels denies killing Peggy, telling police he took her body from another man, then buried her in nearby woods. He has not been charged so far, but is being investigated for murder. One man served jail term for Peggy's mother, but was later acquitted in retrial. In Vietnam now, Vietnam's President Tran Dai Quang, a former chief of internal security who became one of the most high-profile leaders in the communist-ruled country, died on Friday after an illness. Quang's rise at a time of growing dissent on social media and challenges to the party's authority signaled limits to Vietnam's liberal agenda. Despite a growing openness to social change and sweeping economic reforms, experts say Quang, 61, died in a military hospital in Hanoi of a serious illness despite reports by domestic and international doctors and professors. He had hosted a reception for China's Supreme Court chief on Wednesday. An Australian filmmaker who was sentenced by a Cambodian court to 6 years in prison on spying charges has been granted a royal pardon. James Ricketson, 69, was arrested in June 2017 while flying a camera drone over an opposition rally. Ricketson, who denied the charges, had been a critic of long-standing Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen. His arrest was part of a wider crackdown on dissent of increasingly authoritarian governments. And in Iran now, the Iranian Revolutionary Guards and Army carried out a joint aerial military drill in the Gulf on Friday in what official media said indicated the pounding reply that awaited the country's enemies. Tehran has suggested in recent weeks that it could take military actions in the Gulf to block other countries' oil exports in retaliation for the U.S. sanctions intended to halt its sales of crude. Washington maintains a fleet of Gulf that protects oil shipping routes. The Deputy Commander of the Army for Public Relations, Colonel Yusuf Safipour, said in addition to the show of strength, the ceremony is a message of peace and friendship for friendly and neighboring countries. And if, in quotes, the enemies and arrogant powers have an eye on the border and land of Islamic Iran, they will receive a pounding reply in the fraction of a second, unquote. Mirage F4 and Scorish 22 jets took part in the exercise on Friday. You're watching PTV World Desk. We're going on a short break now. When we come back, more stories. Still stay.
As usual, I am excited today. Ewa has done a whole lot for people. I'm not just his baby mama, I am his manager. And we all know that Wizkid had he had numbers of baby mamas. And
he said you don't need some leaders of the National Assembly.
The worst form of democracy is said to be better than the best form of military regime.
We are trying to build political blocks.
Just days after he defected from your party, I believe the politics taken too far.
Members of the new board of Police Service Commission.
You know, the thoughts on the fact that his seat should be declared vacant because we have some states that have experienced, some level of insecurity.
The headship or the leadership of the Senate or the House of Representatives.
But I have gone beyond that now, beyond partisanship.
I don't think a lot of you know the crisis in the embassy.
We know that the people of the country are getting more information about what is happening to us.
With what you know about the person, you go ask yourself.
But one of the things I've come to observe is that
I'm the Agbero. That made me like this Agbero.
He don't need PVC. He don't need PVC. I was trying to convince him.
News emerged that Jones Abiri, a Bielsa-based journalist, is out on bail.
And there's nothing, of course, that makes them to have this guy.
As a citizen, first of all, every citizen has the right. What is happening in society, what is happening everywhere around him.
From that day, Saraki knew that he was a madman in the APC.
He should ask his people who leaked the information. That is his business.
This is not the first time JSS was taking over the National Assembly.
It may be extremely very difficult to remove a Senate president.
But the question is the viability of most of these 91 political parties.
Of course, you can't prosecute that investigation.
To be easier for you to have those people with the like minds to join you.
My name is Carlo Emeto. I'm the Public Relations Officer, Directorate of Road Traffic Services. For news, safety, and security information, watch People's Television.
My name is Co-Commander Wobin Ayubagora. I am the Sector Commander at Federal Road Safety Corps, FCT Sector Command. For latest information about road safety and security, watch People's TV.
Welcome back. Now to the Vatican, where Pope Francis has accepted the resignation of 2 more Chilean bishops, bringing to 7 the number who have stepped down since the sexual abuse scandal swept the nation's Roman Catholic Church. A Vatican statement on Friday said the 2 were Bishop Carlos Eduardo Pellegrin Bellaria of the Diocese of San Bartolome de Chalais and Bishop Christian Enrique Contreras Molina of the Diocese of San Felipe. In both cases, Francis appointed other bishops as commissioners, known as apostolic administrators, to run the diocese until further notice. Francis accepted the resignations of 5 other bishops in June, a month after all the country's bishops offered to step down in mass during an emergency meeting with the Pope over allegations of a cover-up of sexual abuse in the Latin American country. Now captured foreign Islamic State militants must be taken back to their home countries, the Kurdish-led forces in northeastern Syria have said. The Syrian Democratic Forces, SDF, said it would not put them on trial themselves and lacked the resources to hold them indefinitely. The SDF, which controls the region, says they hold about 500 jihadists and hundreds of their wives and children. The captured fighters are reported to be from dozens of countries. States that this is jihadists came from the proven to be reluctant to take these dangerous men back. The BBC's Middle East analyst Alan Justin says its militants seized large areas of Syria and Iraq in 2014, but have since been driven out from most of the captured territories. Israel now will cut the tax revenue it transfers to the Palestinian authorities if it pays the families of the killer of an American Israeli settler, Finance Minister Moshe Kalon said on Friday. Kalon said he had instructed that any sum paid to the attacker's family be withheld from tax revenue after Israel collects on behalf of the Palestinian authorities under interim peace deals. American-born Ari Ford, 45, was stabbed at a shopping mall in the Etzion block of Jewish settlements south of Jerusalem on Sunday. His attacker, Khalil Yusuf, 17, from a village in the occupied West Bank, was shot in the scene and has been in Israeli custody. Now some economic stories, whereas negotiations become fraught before Britain's exit from the European Union in March, tension of a different kind are surfacing on the currencies market. The derivatives activities is rising sharply as investors bet on a weaker sterling. Hopes of progress on a Brexit deal between London and Brussels have fueled a sterling rebound to 9-week highs, yet the view broadly remains that talks will go down in the wire, setting British assets up for a volatile few months. EU leaders' rejection this week of Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit plan already knocked the pounds on Friday, and many investors warned against banking too much on a positive outcome. Collateral damage to the British economy could be enough to warrant holding a short sterling position even as negotiations get more intense, some investors believe. And in entertainment now, former U.S. rap mogul Marion Suge Knight has pleaded no contest to a voluntary manslaughter charge over a hit-and-run incident in 2015. The Death Row Records founder made the plea to avoid charges of murdering one man and attempting to murder a second with his pickup truck in Los Angeles. Knight will be formally sentenced to 28 years in prison in October. His record label helped launch the career of artists including Dr. Dre, Tupac Shakur, and Snoop Dogg. The 2015 incident happened after an argument over the making of a Straight Outta Compton, a biopic about rap group NWA. Under Californian state law, a no contest plea is the legal equivalent of a guilty plea. And in sports, a decision to leave the suspension of Russia's anti-doping agency has been labeled the greatest treachery against clean athletics. The World Anti-Doping Agency has ended a 3-year suspension which followed a major scandal over alleged state-sponsored doping. Leading athletes and anti-doping bodies had opposed the move. WADA President Sir Greg Reddy said the restatement was subject to restrict conditions. 9 members of the 12-strong executive committee voted in favor of the recommendation at a meeting in the Seychelles, with 2 against and 1 abstention. Manchester City striker Sergio Aguero has signed a 1-year contract extension that will keep him at the club until 2021. Aguero, 30, joined from Atletico Madrid in 2011 for a reported £38 million. The Argentina international has played a major role in City's major success since then, winning 3 Premier League titles and 3 EFL Cups. He is City's record scorer with his 204 goals, including the injury time winner against QPR in 2012 that won the title. The player says the team had treated him very well since the first day at the club. And now to rugby, with former President Barack Obama was president of the United States when the Cleveland Browns last won a game. No wonder the end of their run was celebrated in style. After 635 days and 19 matches without a victory, the Browns finally triumphed, coming from 14 points behind to beat the New York Jets 21-17. And delighted fans helped themselves to free beer after the long-awaited win. Rookie quarterback Baker Mayfield, the top overall pick in the NFL entry draft, helped inspire the comeback. Mayfield came into the game late in the first half to replace a concussed Tyrod Taylor and completed 17 passes for 201 yards as the Browns fought back 14-0 down. And that's the much we can take on PTV World Desk. Don't forget to watch us on the go anywhere across the world. Download our mobile app on Google Play and Apple stores. Don't forget to also watch us live via our website. It's www.ptvng.com/live. You can also follow us on our social media platforms, Twitter and Instagram at PTV_NG. I am Daniel Wambosa. Many thanks for watching.
News 24 Extra is taking it up a notch. You can now have news curated to your interest anywhere in the world with real-time notifications. Just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store on iOS. Search News 24 Extra. Download. It's free. It's easy. Now you can catch up with the latest news in politics, entertainment, lifestyle, sports, and much more. So stay connected with News 24 Extra. News at your fingertips.
People's Television Nigeria has gone mobile. You can now watch PTV Nigeria on the go anywhere in the world. For real-time notifications, just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store if you're on iOS. Search for PTV Nigeria. Download. It's free. It's easy. And now you can catch up with the latest news analysis and political discourse on the go. So stay connected with PTV, Nigeria's #1 online TV.
Hello there and welcome to Kizuna Africana. I'm your host Lilian Ogazi. Now today I have an amazing chef and a very short, interesting meal. This week again.
Yeah, this week again we have something super amazing.
Okay, last week was amazing and then this week it is super amazing. So what are we preparing this week that is super amazing?
What we have to make today is called Ikira Nyicho. Now, Icho is the name for Tayam.
Okay.
Then Ikira is the Ikira made from Icho. So
what is Ikira first? This is Ikira made from Icho.
The name given to
sounds like Akara.
Yes, but I don't want to use the word Akara because in my language we call it Ikira.
So Ikira Nyicho.
Yes, that's to cakes made from Watayam.
Government in the rain again. Start or join group to solve problems for your community.
Elections should not be a do or die affair. There's no basis for violence in an election.
If any politician asks them to go and do violence because they want to pay them, let them ask them, any politician, to go and bring his son or daughter to lead the violence.
I want to employ the young people in the forthcoming election not to fight. They should be orderly. At the same time, they must be vigilant.
I support the campaign of vote and not fight. Let us vote peacefully and shun any form of conflict.
Truth and I, they're straightforward. My name is Innocent Dibia. They call me Two-Face. Before, but now they call me Two-Baba. Yeah, we're here in Osun State for the Vote Not Fight campaign. And we're here to just let the youth know that, let them not be used, let them, go out there, get their PVCs, and then, go and vote for the candidate of their choice. And do it peacefully and, so vote, not fight. Election, not be war. All right, let's go there.
News 24 Extra is taking it up a notch. You can now have news curated to your interest anywhere in the world with real-time notifications. Just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store on iOS. Search News 24 Extra. Download. It's free. It's easy. Now you can catch up with the latest news in politics, entertainment, lifestyle, sports, and much more. So stay connected with News 24 Extra. News at your fingertips.
People's Television Nigeria has gone mobile. You can now watch PTV Nigeria on the go anywhere in the world. For real-time notifications, just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store if you're on iOS. Search for PTV Nigeria. Download. It's free. It's easy. And now you can catch up with the latest news analysis and political discourse on the go. So stay connected with PTV, Nigeria's #1 online TV.
Hello there and welcome to Kizuna Africana. I'm your host Lilian Ogazi. Now today I have an amazing chef and a very short, interesting meal. This week again.
Yeah, this week again we have something super amazing.
Okay, last week was amazing and then this week it is super amazing. So what are we preparing this week that is super amazing?
What we have to make today is called Ikira Nyicho. Now, Icho is a name for Tayam.
Okay.
Then Ikira is the Ikira made from Icho. So
what is Ikira first? This is Ikira made from Icho.
The name given to
sounds like Akara.
Yes, but I don't want to use the word Akara because in my language we call it Ikira.
So Ikira Nyicho.
Yes, that's to cakes made from Watayam.
Hello viewers, welcome to this edition of the Darling Program Banking and You. I'm your regular host, Jerry Ojono.
One of the reasons for the crowd in the banking hall have to do with the bulk of people who use the ATM.
One of the banks happened to be one of our very old banks. Okay, they were doing that. They've been doing that for quite a while. You know, the level of education usually cannot be compared to education for those with current accounts. Yeah. Okay, so when you have the situation.
Hello viewers, welcome to this edition of the Darling Program Banking and You. I'm your regular host, Jerry Jonathan. With me today,
People's Television Nigeria has gone mobile. You can now watch PTV Nigeria on the go anywhere in the world with real-time notifications. Just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store if you're on iOS. Search PTV Nigeria. Download. It's free. It's easy. Now you can catch up with the latest news analysis and political discourse on the go. So stay connected with PTV, Nigeria's #1 online TV.
As usual, I am excited today. Ewa has done a whole lot for people. I'm not just his baby mama, I am his manager. And we all know that Wizkid had he had numbers of baby mamas. And
he said you don't need some leaders of the National Assembly.
The worst form of democracy is said to be better than the best form of military regime.
We are trying to build political blocks.
Just days after he defected from your party, I believe is the politics taken too far.
Members of the new board of Police Service Commission.
You know, the thoughts of the fact that his seat should be declared vacant because we have some states that have experienced, you know, some level of insecurity.
The headship or the leadership of the Senate or the House of Representatives.
But I have gone beyond that now, beyond partisanship.
I don't think a lot of you know the crisis in the embassy.
We know that the people of the country are getting more information about what is happening to us.
With what you know about the person, you can go ask yourself.
But one of the things I've come to observe is that
I be Agbero. That made me like this Agbero.
He don't need PVC. He don't need PVC. I was trying to convince him.
News emerged that Jones Abiri, a Bielsa-based journalist, is out on bail.
And there's nothing, of course, that makes them to have this guy.
As a citizen, first of all, every citizen has the right. What is happening in the society, what is happening everywhere around him.
From that day, Saraki knew that he was a madman in the APC.
He should ask his people who leaked the information. That is his business.
This is not the first time JSS was taking over the National Assembly.
It may be extremely very difficult to remove a Senate president.
But the question is the viability of most of these 91 political parties.
Of course, you can't prosecute that investigation.
It will be easier for you to have those people with the like minds to join you.
Disco music is so... What's that word, Seth?
Raz?
Raz!
Hang on, let me check for something.
Oh.
I've got some classics.
Tupac.
Mozart.
Very Raz.
What about Vanilla Ice?
Also Raz. Look, guy, I need something fresh for this journey. Something to keep me alert and focused. Or else this is a solo assignment.
Cool down, let me... What's this? PVC?
Wait, give me that. Come. How on earth did it get there?
Guy, relax now. It's not like it's of any use.
Look, yes, the elections are over. But we need to keep the flames alive by playing an active part in making our voices heard.
Elections don't finish, but the time to close mouth never reach. Make we get involved, because now when we participate, Naija go better.
What about the original soundtrack for the movie Pretty Woman?
Ours is a country of vast tropical and equatorial woodlands, with arid deserts to extensive savanna grasslands, expansive mountains, immense rivers, numerous waterfalls, and mystical forests. Nigeria has it all. It is a place of rhythm, of dance, of music, of festivals, of tradition and culture, of spectacular color, of glamour, and a country of 200 million smiles. And home to a unique people of incomparable passion. A country blessed with breathtaking landscapes, home to some of the most diverse equatorial flora and fauna species on the earth. Nigeria is the undisputed welcoming heart of Africa. We have 521 unique ethno-linguistic groups. The world's newest and organic language, Pidgin, the world's oldest structural sign language, Hausa Sign Language. In addition to the world's oldest continuous market, the 600-year-old Kurmi market, which is situated within the ancient northern city of Kano, where 1,000-year-old city walls can still be found intact to this day. Nigeria has unique and ancient cultures, traditions and customs, and is steeped in spirituality, with as many Muslims as Christians. We also boast the world's oldest systematic religious philosophical system in Ifa, also known as Afa, and practiced as Santeria, Candomblé, Palo, Ubanda, and Voodoo, and in various countries around the world. Nigeria is also home to the world's oldest purpose-built boat, the 8,500-year-old Ifuna canoe. Nigeria is the home of African sports, both ancient and modern, and has always been the beating heart of African football, which has gifted the world with some of the most dynamic and creative football players of all time. Gifted the world with music and artists such as the late Fela Kuti, King Sunny Ade, Seal, and many international performing artists, including Dame Shirley Bassey and Shadi Adu. Our country has also gifted the world with giants of African literature and poetry. Nigeria is a country on the move, a country of hard-working people and industrious and creative people. Our film industry, known as Nollywood, produces more movies in one day than Hollywood produces in 2 weeks, and is the place of thousands of stars and of millions of wonderfully welcoming warm people. We are a country of kings, of queens, businessmen, and businesswomen. A place of vast sprawling game parks, a country where African traditions have always been first. A country of drums, of colors, culture, of festivals, of music, of rhythm, and art. This is Nigeria. There is simply nothing quite like it.
News 24 Extra is taking it up a notch. You can now have news curated to your interest anywhere in the world with real-time notifications. Just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store on iOS. Search News 24 Extra. Download. It's free. It's easy. Now you can catch up with the latest news in politics, entertainment, lifestyle, sports, and much more. So stay connected with News 24 Extra. News at your fingertips.
As usual, I am excited today. Ewa has done a whole lot for people. I'm not just his baby mama, I am his manager. And we all know that Wizkid had he had numbers of baby mamas. And
he said you don't need some leaders of the National Assembly.
The worst form of democracy is said to be better than the best form of military regime.
We are trying to build political blocks.
Just days after he defected from your party, I believe the politics taken too far.
Members of the new board of Police Service Commission.
You know, the thoughts of the fact that his seat should be declared vacant because we have some states that have experienced, you know, some level of insecurity.
The headship or the leadership of the Senate or the House of Representatives.
But I have gone beyond that now, beyond partisanship.
I don't think a lot of you know the crisis in the embassy.
We know that the people of the country are getting more information about what is happening to us.
With what you know about the person, you will go ask yourself.
But one of the things I've come to observe is that
I'm Agberu. That made me like this Agberu.
He don't need PVC. He don't need PVC. I was trying to convince him.
News emerged that Jones Abiri, a Bayelsa-based journalist, is out on bail.
And there's nothing, of course, that makes them to have this guy.
As a citizen, first of all, every citizen has the right. What is happening in society, what is happening everywhere around him.
From that day, Saraki knew that he was a madman in the APC.
He should ask his people who leaked the information. That is his business.
This is not the first time JSS was taking over the National Assembly.
It may be extremely very difficult to remove a Senate president.
But the question is the viability of most of these 91 political parties.
Of course, you can't prosecute without investigation.
It will be easier for you to have those people with the like minds to join you.
I can tell you of a place, lovely as a pretty face, rustling leaves and bowing trees underneath the evening breeze.
With a population of about 15 million people, Gbagi-Gbari is the name of the language of this ethnic group predominantly found in central Nigeria. The Gbagi language is part of the Kwa subdivision of the Niger-Congo language family. Gbagi is the most populated ethnic and indigenous group in the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. They are also found in Niger, Kaduna, Nasarawa, and Kogi states in central Nigeria area. The word Gbagi, which the Gbagi people are famously called, is the name of a particular yam in Gbagi. Principally, there are three types of Gbagi: Gbagi Niger, Gbari Genge, and Gbari Yama. The Gbari people are predominantly farmers, but they're also hunters, while some are involved making traditional arts and craft products such as pottery and woodwork like mortar and pestle.
Making kites from paper bags, flying high above the clouds, dancing in the village square, lovers meet from far and near.
Historically, the Gbagi practice a patrilineal kinship system. The lowest tier of authority is found in the extended family compound led by the oldest male. The compounds consist of small huts and rectangular buildings. The Osu king is the highest tier of authority in the Gbagi settlement and is assisted by a group of elders. They are known to be noble, transparent, peace-loving, accommodating and warm. Their hospitable and cordial nature earned them the phrase Muyishi Gwari Gwari, which means let's do it like the Gbagis. The Gbagi people have emerged as a unique breed among Nigerians. Their culture shows how much they have come to terms with the universe. The favorite food of the Gbagis is known as the yize, made from the guinea corn. To form yiwo, a special drink which is used to drink the nalodo, a spicy soup made with locust beans, and the famous dress is called ajisida, made from local cotton and traditionally woven and dyed by their skillful dressmakers. Some of the popular festivals is the Agbamaya festival and the Yibaji. The Agbamaya festival is a celebration performed to welcome the rain during the raining season, while the Yibaji is a traditional Christmas celebration.
Where the owl is never safe and crickets cry to end the day.
The Gbagi people are adherents of Islam, Christianity, and traditional African religion. In the traditional African religions, the Gbagi believe in a god called Shikwe, one who was there before their ancestors, but they also devote themselves to appeasing deities of the god such as the Megiru. Many Gbagi believe in reincarnation. Islam became more prominent among the people after the Fulani Jihad, while Christianity was introduced to the people by the Sudan Interior Mission, also known locally as the Evangelical Church of West Africa, and the Baptist missionaries from the western part of Nigeria. Prominent individuals from Gbagi descent include former military rulers Ibrahim Babangida and Abdulsalami Abubakar, and Nigerian multi-instrumentalist, singer-songwriter and composer B.E.Z. Bez, whose song you hear on the background.
I can tell you of a place, lovely as a pretty face, rustling leaves and bowing trees underneath the evening breeze.
News 24 Extra is taking it up a notch. You can now have news curated to your interest anywhere in the world with real-time notifications. Just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store on iOS. Search News 24 Extra. Download. It's free. It's easy. Now you can catch up with the latest news in politics, entertainment, lifestyle, sports, and much more. So stay connected with News 24 Extra. News at your fingertips.
People's Television Nigeria has gone mobile. You can now watch PTV Nigeria on the go anywhere in the world. For real-time notifications, just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store if you're on iOS. Search for PTV Nigeria. Download. It's free. It's easy. And now you can catch up with the latest news analysis and political discourse on the go. So stay connected with PTV, Nigeria's #1 online TV.
Hello there,
welcome to Cuisine Africana. I'm your host Lilian Ogazi. Now today I have an amazing chef and a very short, interesting meal. This week again.
Yeah, this week again we have something super amazing.
Okay, last week was amazing and then this week it is super amazing. So what are we preparing this week that is super amazing?
What we have to make today is called Ikira Nyicho. Now, Icho is the name for what I am.
Okay.
Then Ikira is the Ikira made from Icho. So
what is Ikira first? Is Ikira made from Icho?
The name given to
sounds like akara.
Yes, but I don't want to use the word akara because in my language we call it Ikira.
So Ikira Nyicho.
Yes, that's to cakes made from what I am.